So before the fight for Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, the Furies were doing everything, and I mean his dad and his brother are saying if he loses this, he's not allowed to box again.
Well,
he's not coming back to home if he loses. He will win. And then there was a bet that Jake loves making bets. He's like, if you win, double your purse. If I win, double my purse, something along those lines. And Tommy just stood there like, I'm not fucking signing that. And his dad jumps in, deal. And you just look at Tommy, and Tommy looks like, Dad? Like, what are you doing? And have you ever been in a scenario, definitely not that intense, where your parents have put pressure on you in a sporting event? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with two eyes. We're back. We're on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. Jake Paul has taken his first loss.
Crazy scenes.
Crazy scenes.
It's been an incredible record, and I must admit, it's been one that I've, as much as I hate the guy, I've been enjoying following.
From beating Anderson, the Spider Silva.
Yeah, which is massive in and of itself.
Mate, one of the biggest fighters in the world. Who else? He's taken some names.
Yeah, TYRON Woodley, Ben Askren.
5-time world champ. Knocked him clean out. One of my favourite knockouts of all time.
The amazing, unproclaimed Deji.
Oh.
How dare we forget him?
And Eson Gibb.
Yeah.
He really did work himself up. I and a few friends personally that believe that that Tommy Fury wasn't the move. I feel like there could have been bigger names. And if you wanted to keep this ride going, I feel like the end goal was KSI. That's what the build-up was. And now, I will be completely honest, now that he's lost and he's now like, no, I'm Jake Paul, I can't lose, I'm getting my rematch clause, I'm versing Tommy again, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, well, see, this is so interesting. I was thinking this as well. Is the Jake Paul ride over? Like, have we all been, like, sucked in? Because he hasn't lost. We've all wanted to see him lose. And now that's finally happened, it's like, I actually don't care now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care because KSI is obviously still undefeated as well. But my issue with KSI, and it's just purely based on who Jake has fought. Granted, I know they're not real boxers up until Tommy, but I still feel like KSI has so many steps to go before he can challenge Jake Paul. I don't know about your stance on that, but just based on who Jake's fought, I'm like, well, KSI, I know that you want that fight with Jake, but I still feel like you've got steps in place as well before you can reach his level.
I don't want to see those steps.
Yeah,
I don't want to go up that stairwell. I want a simple two-stepper.
Okay.
Just
just sort of like whoever KSI has next, and then just Jake.
Yeah,
just organise it that way now.
You know how like you got maybe it's a train station, got those massive steps.
Yeah,
you got to go. I don't want that. Go on the elevator right next to it. Get straight up there. Let's stop this bullshit because I'm also happy if YouTube boxing is now over after this.
Yeah,
I can't think of any other good rivalries. The whole lead up was KSI mowing down people, and yes, they're not as talented. Definitely not as talented as Jake Paul's opponents. And also, I was like, I do not want to. Apparently, KSI was going to go up against TYRON Woodley, and I was like, no.
Yeah, well, we've already seen that as well. You know, like if you're going to pick a fighter, do someone that we haven't seen, but also like a fighter. Well,
him doing DILLON DANNIS was going to be perfect.
Oh, it would have been.
That there was so much drama and controversy in that one.
Dylan's still calling out KSI to this day. And I'm like, mate, just stop.
He got embarrassed after that crypto scam.
Like, it's ridiculous, mate. Like, there's just no need.
Now, after he partook in a crypto scam that made him look like an idiot,
he's not held accountable. Like, he's just a toss. Like, he's actually a toss.
But now a lot of people would they would go online and they'd be like, yeah, but he's a good fighter, or he's Connor's guy. This
dude,
and that.
I've seen his tweets. He gets bombarded with like, you're a phony, you're a joke, you're a clown, you won't even show up. And I'm like, wow, like people don't forget.
Yeah, I was like, oh, have you tarnished your reputation that bad?
I feel like he has.
Because you made to look like an idiot who backs out and can't fight a YouTuber, and now you're also part of a crypto scam where you're made to look like an idiot. And I was like, oh, that was all in the space of 1 month. The fight should have been, while the hype was good, KSI Jake, and they should have built that up over and over, because I guarantee neither one of them would have wanted to take a loss like when it was KSI Logan Paul, and you would have got another rematch. Yeah. And I would have been happy to watch.
And the rematch would have been insane too, because you know whoever loses is going to come back. Like, realistically, whoever lost that fight would be like, no, fuck that. Like,
we don't want to see Jake humble after a loss.
Did you find it funny? So speaking of the loss, I liked how at first he's like, Tommy's just a really good fighter. Like, I'm so thankful. Like, just happy to fight. I do have to admit, though, like, during this fight, my elbow and I was a bit sick, but I don't want to use any excuses. And I was like, what? Why would you bring that up, though?
I watched it. See,
I don't know. He just acted so oddly and strange.
Well, I see these videos where they're doing the vlogs, and he's going into these, like, expensive ice baths and has the best physiotherapy in the world.
Just amazing recovery.
Oh, everyone around him is top talent at making sure he's fixed in every aspect. And you still see fighters go, well, I had a cold and I'm just feeling sick. And it's mate, your doctor's like $1,000 an hour just for your knee, and you said it just was itchy. So calm it down. Yeah, I don't want to see Jake fight again. I wanted him to take the loss like Logan took his first loss against KSI, where he just wouldn't accept it and he kept blaming the judges and everything. I was like, because I wanted to hate him.
Well, I also thought, can we speak of that real quick, just quietly? How the fuck did it? Did you watch all the fight? Obviously,
highlights.
Okay.
I just saw it was a hugging
match. How the fuck were the... Yeah, pretty much was. It was really annoying, actually. It kept going to the clinch so much. But how the fuck, out of the three judges, was it a, split decision? Dude, I'm sorry. I know one of the judges was from the US, but, if you watch the fight, even myself, who doesn't watch, a lot of boxing, UFC, I could clearly tell that it's Tommy's. Jake needed to knock him out to win. If it went to judges, it was always going to be Tommy, purely because of the work and the effort that Tommy did the first 4 rounds.
Yeah, it makes you think about UFC fighters who have clawed their way just to get on the actual UFC, doing house shows constantly, making sure they're fighting at all different arenas just to get one shot to be paid, maybe $50K when you first start out, maybe not even that. You're just trying to build and build and build. And then you got Jake Paul, who's won allegedly anywhere from $8 to $30 million for that fight,
today, which is ridiculous. And he lost.
But to be fair, you have a lot of fighters say that, like what I just said, and it's like, I've been working my ass off. How dare they take what I take? And it's like, okay, well, how about you be a cringe YouTuber for 10 years? And they're like, do you want to do all the work he's done in that scenario? Yeah. Because he has been that YouTuber who has just started controversy after controversy, building his name. I bet you don't want to build your name like that. This guy was doing clown prank videos.
Yes.
Do you remember his songs?
I'd rather not remember them.
What was his girl's name? Something Janeka or... it was so bad. Jerica?
Could be.
I think his girl was Erica. It was shocking.
Erica.
That's right. Yeah,
that's it. Wow, I forgot all about her.
Yeah, all the cringe.
Holy shit. Just the Team 10 stuff in general.
The Team 10 song. Oh, I do remember that.
Nick Crompton?
None of them are around him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The topic I wanted to actually focus on the most.
Yes.
And I would love to know if you've had this, because I never had this. I think a few friends did. So before the fight for Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, the Furies were doing everything, and I mean his dad and his brother saying, if he loses this, he's not allowed to box again.
Well,
he's not coming back to home if he loses. He will win. And then there was a bet that Jake loves making bets. He's like, if you win, double your purse. If I win, double my purse, something along those lines. And Tommy just stood there like, I'm not fucking signing that. And his dad jumps in. Deal. And you just look at Tommy, and Tommy looks like, Dad? Like, what are you doing? And have you ever been in a scenario, definitely not that intense, where your parents have put pressure on you in a sporting event?
I'm almost certain there has been.
Really?
And I'm thinking probably football with my old man, because
my
old man used to always come and watch, and he was quite a good footy player himself. And I would say that my brother is way more talented in most sports than me. Mm-hmm. A way better footy player and stuff. I would just play footy to play with my mates, have a bit of a good time. And obviously, I'm no matter what sport I do, I want to win. I think we all want to win and stuff like that. But I don't know, I was playing in the back line and stuff like that, and because Dad played a little bit in the back line as well, just giving me tips in the boundary line. But he would always, I don't know, the way that I took it, and I think it's the same for a lot of us, whenever your parent gives you feedback, you never take it well compared to if it was someone else's parent.
Definitely.
like, for example, like with you, with your fight, if it was like your man there watching, which I know you would hate anyways, but if he was there, he's like, you'd be like, mate, just shut the fuck up. Like,
He would somehow find someone's white shirt before the bell starts and just throw it in. He's not doing it. He looks sweaty. Is he sick?
That's what I mean. But whereas if it was like one of the lads, obviously that you're close with, if it was maybe one of their parents, why they're there, I don't know. But like, you'd probably be like, no, I appreciate that. So that was me with footy. Like, he was like, you got to stick to your man, play on this side of him. Don't let him goal side. And it got to the point where I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want you at my games.
Oh, shit.
I actually don't want you at my, like, it's actually fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And he'd be like, oh, no, Lee can do that. And it's just like, I don't even know if I can do, like, what, don't say things that I don't even know if I can do. Because now I look like a fuckwit if I don't do that. Like, I hate that. And I think he was a bit the same with my brother as well. Like, he used to give a lot more pressure on my brother because he was a lot more talented than me. And again, the same thing happened where my brother was just more or less like, if you're going to watch me, watch on the other side of the ground. I don't fucking want you anywhere near me.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I know in my life, if parents give me advice that maybe I don't like as much, I can be, without even thinking about it, a bit combative straight away.
It's easy to be like that.
But you're right. If it's someone I don't really know, you can't be like, fuck off.
Exactly.
It's just like,
I think I'm just more open to listening to like a friend's parents than my own. Especially if it's something that I'm passionate about, I guess.
Yep.
It's the same as like water skiing. Like, you hear it all the time when people go water skiing. If you're behind the boat and someone's like, oh, like your parents, like, oh, mate, this is how you want to get up. It's just like, you just get frustrated. Whereas if it's someone else's parent, you're just like, no, thanks for that. Like, I appreciate the feedback. Like, you're actually trying to help me. But if it's your parent, it almost feels like they're attacking you. You're like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm fucking trying to learn. You're just coming at me. Even though, like, they're not. Like, they're coming from a good place, but it just feels like they're just going at you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck. Like, I can't catch a fucking break.
I guess with a lot of parents, I guess you could have a couple of different sides. You could have the really bad side, which is maybe they're embarrassed, which is probably a really bad sign. Or you could have the parent who kind of sees you like Gohan, how he's got that hidden ability. And it's
that's a great analogy.
My fucking son or daughter, and they are playing like shit. Don't touch me. I know it because I've seen them practice this over and over. They are great at this sport, and I'm telling them because I need them to start pulling their head in because no one else will tell them to. And then there's the caring, but sometimes it comes off.
Well, that's
poorly.
the thing. Like, and sometimes that caring can be that thing to unlock that hidden potential, you could say. But sometimes you're just like, fuck you.
Well, this some of those sporting events too, there's some fucking flogs.
Oh, some of the parents,
mate.
The amount of pressure that they put on their own children is ridiculous.
Mate,
I've seen kids, well, that's it. But I've seen some kids' parents like full on like lash out at their child because they're not playing well. It used to happen so much when I was watching my brother play basketball. Like, some of the parents are like, you need to block him way harder. What is that defense? Are you kidding me? What if we practice it? I'm like, dude, I can't even imagine getting in a car after the game if you've played shit dealing with that parent. The whole drive would be like, and you didn't do this properly. And you wouldn't even want to play the sport.
Yeah.
Like, you lose the drive and the passion at such a young age that you're like, I don't even want to play it at an older age.
Yeah.
Even if all my mates like, oh, dude, you should fill in for a game, you're like, nah. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of parents, they don't mean to do it, but I think it's such a common issue. I hear it so, like, I just feel like so many parents can be so one-eyed and think that their child's the best of the best, and how dare they'll go to the coach and be like, why isn't my son getting game time? Like, he's really good compared to these other ones and all. And it's just like, just let your kid do what your kid wants to do. If they ask for your support, then do it, but don't do it over the top. Like, go about it the right way.
Yeah, there's different ways, and you gotta reflect, because if you're the only person in the stands at a basketball game yelling like that, I would honestly say it would take like a top 1% kid who somehow knows that maybe that's their motivation. A lot of people don't respond to that, but maybe for that person it is. And that's a very small minority, right? Everyone else, they look and they go, this is embarrassing.
Well, embarrassing, their parents are psycho.
I'm playing bad, but now everyone is like looking at me. My dad's yelling. Someone's going to bring it up at school. That's
the thing. There's so much ramifications just from that one thing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do well under stress.
No way.
A lot of people don't rise to the occasion when...
If anything, I feel more pressure. If my parents did that, I'd be like, oh, dear God.
You start thinking about other things instead of the actual job at hand.
Yes.
And to have... and I think... they call them helicopter parents when they're too close. They're too close, and they could be at school as well. There's so many scenarios where helicopter parent is just not on. I remember there was this one time where I had a couple of friends come up to my house, and they were riding bikes, and I rode a bike with them up the street, and we went into this like abandoned house.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and we're in this abandoned house, but because my dad was a helicopter parent. He drove past and parked in front to see what was happening, and I'm in my head. I'm like, "Oh no, you don't get what you're doing. Like this, I could actually lose friends here. Like this
that's another thing.
Nickname could stick, or something could get said at school where you're known as that dad, and then I'm
yeah, and then because you're the child of that person, it's like, no, I don't want him around. That's another like. I don't think most people's parents mean well.
Of course they mean well.
Like and all that. And they want they just want to see you like be the best version and like all that. They want to see you with mates or like, dressed nicely and all this stuff. But sometimes it's just too much love and care.
It is. Yeah, sometimes
you need to learn to let go a little bit. Like you got to let your children find their own way. Still be there for them, of course. I'm not saying bloody like, all right, cool, you're 6 now, off you go sort of thing. But like...
And advice is crucial too. So that's why... like. Personally, as I've said before, I don't want kids, but I know that what you can say can be held on to, and you might not even realize it, but kids can hold on to it at a young age. There's some things that I remember, and I know, like my dad loves me more than anyone in the I'm like his whole world, but just so many ways that he went about scenarios. I was like, oh, you're making life worse and worse and worse for me.
And it stays with you too.
And one of the things, and it's not like I'm definitely not damaged as a kid, but just to bring up this point, what I'm saying is, with your words having meaning, I think one time when I was playing footy, I played for a team I used to play for, and one kid dumped me on the ground. Like he tackled me and dumped me on the ground. He's a big guy compared to me. I was like a little string bean. He still am. He dumped me. And I got winded. So I go back to the bench and crying, like I'm a bit hurt. And my dad's advice was like, no, you can't take that, When you run back out on the field, I want you to bump him in the back as you go past.
But that achieves nothing.
But here's the thing. Like I know he was like in his head, like, no, it's okay. I guess make sure, you're feeling tough as well. This isn't just his scenario. But mate, I went and did it. And then I went and kept playing footy. But I look back and I go, if that kid didn't take that bump, go, all right, yeah, fuck it, he would have grabbed me. And now it's not like I've got a ball. It's like straight on. Like you're going to throw punch it. And I just went, fuck, he could have laid me out like so badly out.
Well, I was going to ask you, how did you find it? Because did your dad coach your football team? As a junior? No, because I never ever experienced my dad, but I'm just saying though, because I know for a fact I would find it so incredibly hard, and I don't know, credit to yourself, mate, and anyone else that's out there that has had a dad as a coach, I would find that so incredibly hard. Because I feel like there's so much pressure on you if you get named the captain or you play a full forward or like whatever role where like you're scoring. I feel it's like, oh, of course you are because you're your dad's little pet, like sort of thing like that. And it's just like, as his son, like I'm getting my ass. It's not just you think at football training and like on the weekends, like I'm getting, mate. It's all fucking day at home as well. Mate. Like I'm getting copped abuse, or like, maybe not so much abuse. Yeah, let's settle down. But like my dad's complaining about this all the time at home as well. Like you guys are only dealing with this on game day and training. It's all fucking week, non-stop until the season's done.
Mate, all right, let's prime it for the next episode because I've got some good stories there that aren't the aggressive type like that, but the coaching side. I remember things that I'm like, hated it, and I'm now starting to
because
think back
man,
at some
it sort of drove
fights
you because if I recall as well, I could be wrong. I don't want to put your dad on blast about it, but You actually used to quite enjoy footy
Yeah.
and all that, but obviously now you're like, I really don't care about it. And I'm just intrigued to know, and maybe it does come up in one of these stories for the next episode, I wonder if there was a certain thing or a time or a moment that in like the junior footy, just with everything happening, that you're like, you know what, I actually don't like this sport and I'm just done with it.
Yep.
And you just never found the passion for it. You actually like, I just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that next one because that's what happened during that as well.
Yeah, wow.
And I wouldn't mind talking about some fights.
Yes.
In the sporting events.
Yeah.
Like, so where it'd be parents, kids. I've got some where it's kids and next thing you know, your parents are getting involved.
Yes. Oh, geez. I've seen that firsthand.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Guys, make sure to tune in for the next episode of Morokai with Two Eyes. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next one.
Boom.
Boom.